Now, Israeli fighter jets, F-15s, F-16s and others are continuing a campaign of airstrikes, striking both northern and southern regions. About 120 Hezbollah sites have been targeted in this relentless assault. Meanwhile, Israel finds itself, as always, in a multi-front war, with its jets also moving towards the east to target Houthi military positions in Yemen in retaliation for ballistic missile attacks emerging from that country. Remember, Hamas, Houthis and the Hezbollah are the Triple H, the three proxies of Iran, situated in three different directions. The stakes are high, the conflict is escalating. Take a look.
This is what remains of southern Lebanon's Ain Eddel. Israeli army says it has killed another senior Hezbollah figure, Nabil Qaou, amid an ongoing exchange of strikes between the two sides. This even as Israeli military tanks continue to mass big in northern Israel-Lebanon border. Israel has expanded its attacks on Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen, stoking fears of a bigger regional war. The Israel Air Force's refueling aircraft have been operating in all arenas in the war, providing fighter jets with flexibility in strikes and aerial operations at any distance. The Israeli Air Force is conducting strikes on military targets belonging to the Houthi terrorist regime in the areas of Ras Isa and Hudaya in Yemen, including power plants and a seaport that are used by the Houthis to import oil for military purposes.
We see the attack today, 2,000 kilometers away in Hodeidah and its surroundings, and the achievements, as they are reflected, are very impressive. And the meaning is clear. Those who try to attack us or harm the citizens of Israel will pay a very heavy price.
In Gaza too, Israel continues its offensive against Hamas. A new video released by Israeli army shows a tunnel in central Gaza Strip being dismantled. Israel is fighting wars on 3 of its 5 fronts. All the 3 fronts with the 3 H's. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in the Gaza Strip and the Houthis in Yemen are active and blazing. The opening of multiple fronts comes ahead of the first anniversary of the October 7 attack on Israel by Hamas. At the heart of the war is Iran, which provides significant financial, military and strategic support to Hamas, Hezbollah and Houthis, and the Iraqi and Syrian Shia militias against their common enemy, Israel. Israel's military actions in the war are therefore in part aimed at weakening Iran's regional influence by disrupting its ability to support these proxy groups. The killing of high-ranking leaders of Hezbollah and the targeting of Houthi rebels in Yemen are seen as direct challenges to Iran's regional strategy. Iran's response to these developments will be crucial in determining the future trajectory of the war. Bureau Report, India Today.
This multi-front war that Israel is now waging, using its fighter jets, using airstrikes, using missiles to target the Hezbollah, the Houthis in the Gaza campaign, this is relentless. It's been going on for the last few days and it's only been escalating now. India Today's Ashraf Wani, who you just heard from live, has been reporting fearlessly for the last few days from ground zero, including where those airstrikes are taking place, getting you first-hand updates from the conflict sites themselves. Take a look at the latest that Ashraf has sent us. The assassination of Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah in an Israeli airstrike has plunged West Asia into deeper turmoil. India Today's Ashraf Wani, who's in the war zone in southern Lebanon, visited the site targeted by Israeli missiles over the last few days.
A multi-story building has been targeted a few hours back, early in the morning. on Monday, and this multi-story building has collapsed completely, and you can see nothing except destruction here. At least 30 people got killed in this Israeli strike, one of the biggest strikes carried out by the Israel in Lebanon since last 1 week after the Hassan Nasrallah's death in the south suburbs of the Beirut.
The ongoing war has caused immense suffering to civilians on the ground.
Israel on the Sunday evening targeted this building behind me here in the central Beirut. 3 people died. We believe it to be the political leaders. Some top political leaders of Hezbollah had been targeted in this building behind me. You can see everything is shattered here. How many cars had got damaged. There is the presence of army and the security personnel, in fact police, and how much devastating that blast had been in that multi-story building behind me, which has completely damaged it and has caused a lot of damage in that particular apartment.
Despite growing international calls for a ceasefire, both sides continued their attacks relentlessly. With hundreds crossing the border to Syria, looking for a safe zone, the streets in these areas have turned empty.
After Friday's missile strikes, in which not only the Hezbollah's top commander Hassan Nasrallah was killed, but many top leaders and the civilians had been killed in that Israeli attack here in the Beirut. Since then, there is chaos all across the Lebanon, particularly in the South Lebanon, where these strikes were carried out not only on Friday but even on the Saturday too. Most of the people have fled from these areas and are now moving towards the safer areas, and thousands of people and families spend their nights in open sky in different roadsides, parks and the sea beaches here in the Beirut. Hezbollah has not only taken the oath that they are going to take big revenge from Israel for killing off their commander, but the indications are so that after the final procession and funeral of Hassan Nasrallah, this war will escalate. Hezbollah has not yet decided the day for the funeral of Hassan Nasrallah, but the Lebanese government has already declared 5 days of mourning, which will close on Wednesday. Ashrafani for India Today in Beirut.